to do is I want to get us all on the same page with what AI is and what AI isn't, and how it applies to industries and startups and things like that. So let's start with data. What is data? What's data? Huh? Facts? No? Outputs?
Information.
Not information. Information's there. Raw inputs. Nice. So data, if you look at Wikipedia, which is the source of all truth, data is in Latin datum, which means given things. It's just stuff. It's not until you give it context does it become information. Can you tell me what that says? Huh? If you're normal, what does that say? Okay, what does that say? Okay, so we can see that the data that's going into your eyes, the stuff in the middle, is the same data. But given the context, given the surrounding, you will give it a different meaning. It's not until you give data context does it actually become information. So if I said to you, my laptop is sick. Oh, if I said to you, my laptop is sick. What does that mean?
A dog called laptop.
Huh?
You have a dog called laptop.
A dog what?
A dog called laptop.
So if you're old like me, sick probably means bad. If you're cool like you, it means good, right? This is data. And it's up to you how you contextualize this. You contextualize it either good or bad. And based on your history, your experience, whoever's saying it, you'll give that a different meaning. So let me give you another example. John read the letter to Mary. I want you to picture in your head, John read the letter to Mary. What picture do you have in your head? John read the letter to Mary.
Mary's died, John is reading a letter.
John is reading a letter out loud to Mary.
Yes.
Anybody else?
John read a letter written to Mary.
John read the letter that was written to Mary, okay? Anybody else? What if I said John is a teacher and Mary is a kindergarten student and they're learning the alphabet? And I said John read the letter to Mary. What does that mean? What if I said John read the letter to Mary? What does that mean? What if I said the letter was the title of a book? John read the letter to Mary. What does that mean? What if I said that John, what if the letter to Mary is the name of the book? And I said John read the letter to Mary. There's probably about, so far, 13 different representations of this data. And you'll go away and having a picture in your head, and you'll think the picture in your head that you have of this data is correct. And one of the biggest challenges we have in computer science is taking this data, taking this stuff, and actually giving it context. This is the world of natural language processing. This is the world of image recognition. Okay, it's one of the biggest challenges that we have in computer science is how do we take this messy stuff and actually give it some context. Okay, so what's big data? Lots of stuff. Yeah, again, if you look at Wikipedia, then big data is defined as more data than you can process on a single machine. More data than you can process on a single machine. So if I asked you to process all of the Twitter data on your laptop, do you think you'll be able to do that? No, there's too much to store on your laptop. But big data doesn't just mean lots of data, it also means big chunks of data. So if I asked you, for example, to open up a Hubble image on your laptop, which is, let's say, 100 gigabytes in size, what would happen? Huh? It would get sick. Yeah. You wouldn't be able to do that. So what you have to do is you have to break the data into different pieces, you have to send it to a cloud computer, process it and get back the results. And there's lots and lots of technologies now that are being developed to deal with this big data. And I think the term big data will probably go away soon. Okay, so if information is contextualized data, what is knowledge? We're going to go up this stack, and it's going to become more and more philosophical. But what is knowledge? Okay, let me give you an example. So if I give you an Excel sheet, and in that Excel it has the date, it has the temperature outside, and it has the number of ice creams that you sold. So the date, temperature outside, and the number of ice creams you sold. What will you do with that information? How will you analyze it? Okay, and plot it. So, okay, so if I plotted this, and I've got the temperature along the bottom, and I've got the number of ice cream sales along the side, what would my plot look like? Huh? You can see it going upwards, right? The hotter it is outside, the more ice creams you're going to sell. If I built a machine learning model, what would my machine learning model predict? Huh?
Highest in summer.
Huh?
Highest in summer.
Yeah, let's say the warmer it gets, the more ice creams that we sell. Brilliant. Now what we can do is we can take this model and we can automate it. We can put it into a factory that automates the manufacturing of ice creams, and you can go out there with the robot ice cream men and sell ice creams, and you can sit back and make lots and lots of money. Well, what happens if tomorrow is the hottest day ever? Ever. What happens? Huh? Why will nobody go out? According to my model, according to my machine learning model, I'm going to sell a shitload of ice creams. But why won't anybody go outside? It's too hot. So let's try to understand what's going on here. So when it's hot outside, people go outside, right? And when they go outside and they get too hot, what happens? They buy ice cream. Why do they buy ice cream? And why does buying ice cream cool you down? You put down your pants, put in your...
Because it's cold. The ice cream can melt.
You eat it. And why does eating something cold cool you down? Thermodynamics. So to expect a computer to understand, to actually really understand and unpick what is going on is actually a big ask. So again, our machine learning model will make some predictions, but it doesn't really understand. It might know based on these patterns, but it doesn't understand. And it's only until you understand can you actually make some sensible decisions. And actually, computers find this part extremely difficult. Academics are working on techniques to try and solve this problem, but it is very, very difficult. So it's not until you understand something can you then start to make some sensible decisions. And I would argue that wisdom is the utilization of that understanding. I might want to sell more ice creams, might want to make more money, I might want to make people happy, but it's the utilization of that understanding that's really, really important. Okay, so this is the data-driven decision-making stack. It's taking data and getting to the point where you can start making decisions. And I'm going to argue now that humans are terrible at making decisions. So if I gave you all a questionnaire and asked you how awesome this talk is, and I asked all of you over there to hold a pen in your mouth like this, right? And all of you to hold a pen in your mouth like this, what will happen? Huh? You're going to like my talk less than you. Why? Because you're forcing the shape of muscles in your face that's going to change your decision making. So if you force a smile, you're more likely to act more positively than if you force a frown. Okay, let me give you another example. So I usually pick somebody out of the audience to do this, but imagine I'm a scientist and I'm holding a cup and I'm holding a clipboard and I'm talking to my subject. And I say to my subject, your job is to go and interview somebody and then come back and decide whether you would hire that person or not. And I ask you to hold my cup and I take your details, what's your name, what's your address, take my cup off you and go and interview that person and come back and tell me whether you will hire that person or not. And they correlated the temperature of the cup with whether you would hire that person. So the warmer the cup, the more likely you will hire that person. So if you're ever going to an interview or anything like that, make sure you take a hot drink with you. Okay, I'm going to ask you a series of maths questions. I'm going to start out with some very simple ones. Has anybody read Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman? Don't answer this, most of you. We're in the LSE. So don't answer this question if you've read this book. So the maths question is this. And by the way, how quickly and how fast you answer this question determines whether your company is going to survive. Because there's another company out there that's going to answer the question faster than you. So the question is this: the combined price of a bat and a ball is £1.10. The bat is £1 more than the ball. How much is the ball? The combined price is £1.10. The bat is £1 more than the ball. How much is the ball? Huh? 5 pence. Most of you are probably thinking 10 pence. It's not 10 pence, and the bat is £1.05. The ball is 5 pence. The bat is £1 more than the ball. This is a cognitive bias that we have, and we typically make these mistakes. You're not broken. Okay, I'm going to ask you another maths question. Don't ask me the name of these Pokemon. I don't know them. I've got 5 Pokemon here. And what we need to do is we need to allocate them. We need to arrange them in a way that satisfies these rules. Okay, so we need to make sure that flying Pokemon are next to walking Pokemon, and that tailed Pokemon are next to tailed Pokemon, and no same coloured Pokemon are allowed to be next to each other, blah, blah, blah. So I've got these rules here. If I didn't have these rules, how many possible orientations of Pokemon are there? Can anybody?
5 factorial.
Huh?
5 factorial.
5 factorial, yeah, so 120. Okay, so if I had another 5 Pokemon, how many possible number of orientations of Pokemon are there?
Factorial.
Huh? About 3.5 million. If I had another 5,
15 factorial.
that's over 1 trillion possible orientations of Pokemon. Okay, most companies, most people in industry that are dealing with automation are trying to solve these types of problems. So here are 500 Pokemon. To give you an idea, Satalia is working on a project at the moment with a big consultancy about how to arrange their staff and allocate them to consultancy projects. They've got 7,000 staff. Here's 500. This is a number that's that big. This is the possible number of combinations, number of orientations of all of those Pokemon. Many of those won't make any sense. One of them will be the best one. One of them will satisfy all of the rules, and one of them will have all of the tails next to the tails and the males next to the females. Just so you know, if I put an 8 at the beginning of this, that's the number of atoms that there are in the universe. These are exponential problems. We've heard the word exponential a lot, that AI is becoming exponentially more intelligent, but we should also recognize that there are lots of exponential problems out there. There are, in fact, most decision problems in industry where you have to allocate stuff is an exponential problem, and humans are rubbish at this. Actually, computers aren't so good either. So we use algorithms, we use optimization algorithms to make some of these decisions. This is the project that we're working on with one of our clients. It's a number that doesn't have 1,000 digits, it's a number that has 9 million digits. And somewhere in there will be the best solution. So you need to use optimization to try and figure out what is the good solution given the amount of time that you have. This you have to deliver to all of the points in the shortest path. And I often ask people, how long will it take a computer to come up with the shortest path? Can anybody tell me? 24 points, and I want to know what the shortest path is around all of those points to save me the most amount of petrol and stuff like that. Huh? It's 24 factorial, so this is the number of possible routes around those 24 points. And if I had a computer that could look at 1 million routes a second, it would take 20 billion years to go through all possible combinations and say this one here, this one's the best one. We don't have in industry 20 billion years to solve these problems. Some of my clients have 100,000 points on a map, and we have seconds to do the optimization to solve some of these problems. So problems are hard, and there's a lot of excitement at the moment around this part. Using machine learning, deep learning, things like that to try and find patterns in data. And I'm going to argue, probably not so well, that these things, these biologically inspired AIs, these things that are based on how biology solves problems, they are going to face the same types of cognitive biases, the same issues that biological systems do. And actually these systems, these deep learning systems, are not very good at this bit. So when I think about AI has to have these 4 components. It has to have a component where it gets data, gathers data, brings data in. It has a component of being able to put through that data through a model, through its understanding of the world, like our ice cream model, and hopefully that model is a good model. And then it has to make some decisions. It has to figure out how to allocate its resources to achieve some sort of goal. But crucially, it needs to be able to adapt. And it needs to be able to adapt without human intervention. And most systems in industry don't have this component. And they don't have this component for a very good reason. One is because you don't want to implement systems in production that can adapt in ways that you can't predict. We've heard some talk previously about these systems that can adapt in ways that become unpredictable. So you don't want to be putting this stuff in production that ends up is going to be making bad decisions. But the holy grail, I guess, for any type of system to be AI is to bring all of these 4 components together, put it in production, and have it learn, make decisions, and see whether those decisions are good or bad. But very, very rarely do we see these things in production. Okay, and the best definition of intelligence I've ever found, and I want to refer back to the first talk, is this one. Goal-directed adaptive behavior. So lots of machine learning companies are saying that they're AI, and I would argue that you're not. What you are is very, very good at finding patterns in data, which is excellent. This is hard, it's hard to do. But ultimately, if you want to be AI, you need to be making decisions. And goal-directed adaptive behavior is, you have to have a goal, i.e. maximize happiness or sell more ice cream, blah, blah, blah. You have to behave in a way that helps you achieve your goal. You have to allocate your resources in a way that helps you move towards that goal. But the crucial word here is adaptive. You have to have it adapt. It's not adaptive, but I would argue it's not intelligent. Okay, so the big concern is this. Actually, there's two types of intelligence, and some speakers have already spoken about this before, but one is symbolic AI. So this is one of my favorite paintings. This is Socrates. He's just about to drink hemlock and kill himself. Socrates is famous for the Socratic method. Socrates is a man, all men are mortal, and therefore Socrates is mortal. So from this piece of knowledge, Socrates is a man, all men are mortal, I can infer new knowledge. I can infer that Socrates is mortal. And this is rule-based AI. This is the AI that we've been speaking about earlier on. This is stuff that was popular in the 80s. And then what happened in the 90s was that neural or symbolic AI came to being. So this is actually a picture of a bumblebee. I did my PhD to model the brain of a bumblebee. A bumblebee has 1 million neurons. It has a brain the size of the end of a needle. And they can do remarkable things. They can see optical illusions the same way that we do. They navigate 3D worlds. They communicate to each other. They don't really deal with Windows very well, but we can forgive them for that. And then the question is, can you put the power of something that's the size of the end of the needle in a helicopter and have it navigate 3D worlds and maybe not deal with Windows very well? But ultimately, there's so much ability in such a small, tiny brain. Could we replicate that in a computer? And in the early 2000s, there was no chance that this was going. Even 1 million neurons was too much to model in a computer. And now, as you've heard, we're able to start to build brains way bigger than 1 million neurons. And we're starting to see those systems be able to make decisions or do things that we can do, like recognize how many people are in this room, or count the number of chairs, or learn how to understand what's being said. And so for many, many years, we've been able to build very specific systems that can outperform humans, that can outperform us at most tasks, whether it's recognizing broken biscuits or allocating vehicles or whatever. And there's now this new idea of artificial general intelligence, where we're building these systems that can do now a range of things better than us. And predominantly, these systems are deep learning based. They're neural based. The concern that we've expressed over today is that one day we might build a brain that's more intelligent than us in every single possible way. And Callum did a fantastic summary of this. Before we get here, we're going to be building systems that are probably going to be dumb. And what I mean by that is we're going to be building systems that have a model, like our model of the ice cream, that's wrong. It's a wrong model of the world. And it's going to be making bad decisions. And here, I guess, is an interesting question. It's called the Trolley Problem. Many of you will have heard of it. But imagine you're in your driverless car, and in front of you is a kid. And to the right are 2 adults, and to the left is a cliff. And the car can't stop. Who does it kill? Most people shout out, kid. I know what you're thinking. Who do you kill? Kid, 2 adults, or you? It's just you in the car. Still kill the kid. But then I say, okay, so let's put a kid in the car. Who do you kill? Or let's make one of the adults your husband or your wife, or let's make that your kid. These types of questions need to be answered, because these systems that we're putting into production are going to be making those decisions. And some of them will probably make dumb decisions. And we're going to have to forgive them for that. But actually, I heard recently one of the things that we might have is a setting in a car where we can choose our own ethical setting. So we can decide what type of things to kill. But we're going to continue to build systems like this. They're going to go into production. They're not going to be sentient, but they're going to be making decisions, and they're going to be affecting our lives. And I guess one of the things I'm really interested in is how do we build systems in a way that adhere to ethics? Now, ethics is a really interesting question, because Philosophers for thousands of years have been asking questions about what is good. What is the right thing to do for humanity? What's the best thing to do? Is it the best thing to kill the kid? Is it to kill the adults? What is the right thing to do? And previously these were just philosophical questions. But right now we're having to answer them. This is a really, really exciting time to be. We have to ask ourselves, what is good? What is the right thing for the world? And I don't know many of these, the answers to these questions. But I'm particularly interested in how do we actually build test frameworks or verification frameworks around these systems that we're building to adhere to the ethics that we want them to subscribe to. This is a really hard problem. It's a really hard problem, particularly if you have systems that can adapt. If a system can adapt, you can't really predict if it's ever going to disagree with us, like Hal decided not to help whoever it was in Space Odyssey. It's a really, really tough question. So, Satalia, we're a team of 50 people across Europe, and you know, we make money by helping organizations sell more shit to people. I hope none of my clients are here. And we help organizations make money by getting rid of people, by helping them reduce their costs. And many of you are going to create companies that do the same thing. Right? Some of the greatest brains of our generation are going to help other people, help companies sell more shit. And we acknowledge that. That's one of the reasons why we have to stay alive. This is how commerce works. We need to make money. But what we're trying to do inside Satalia is understand all of the things that we're learning about how the world works, all of the things about how AI can be applied to solve these problems. Can we use it in a way? Can we repurpose it in a way to make the world better? Can we take delivery solutions and give them to ambulances? Can we take staff rostering solutions and make them available to nurses? How can we take these products that we're building and make them available to everybody to try and make things a little bit better? But also we're trying to figure out how do we are creating a world where we're freeing people from their jobs, and again Callum has spoken about this as well. And I am really, really scared about this impending shitstorm. It's really worrying, and we are in Satalia thinking really carefully about how can we contribute to that world. How can we build systems that are going to try and help make that world a better place, even try and build governance systems. So again, in my company, we don't have any managers, we don't have any administrators. Everything that could be automated, we swarm around and we automate. And one of our personal aspirations is to try and figure out if we can make an organization at scale run without any managers, without any administrators. Could this governance structure work outside of an organization? Could it work across society? Satalia is an AI company. We build AI solutions, but our purpose is to enable everybody to do the work they love. We know that we're going to free people up from their jobs, but how can we create a world where people can do the things that they want to do and the things that they love? That's it.